everybody. Welcome back to Unfiltered Perspectives. I'm Tara.
I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Leslie.
Today, guys, we are chatting about something we all navigate each year, and that is holiday customs and commitments. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, they all bring their own traditions and sometimes a lot of expectations. The holidays can be both wonderful and stressful, right? Between all the gatherings, the gift exchanges, and even travel, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. So let's get clear on what our holiday customs, commitments, and the like mean to us. This is Unfiltered Perspectives, where real talk leads to real growth and every perspective is valued.
Thank you, Tara, for that introduction into this week's topic. I know that you have some questions for us, so we can go ahead and get into it, ladies.
I guess the first question I'd like to ask us is, what holiday customs or traditions do you hold for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's? And I guess when you're thinking about framing your answer, I'm curious about whether or not these traditions are a source of joy or comfort, or have they started to feel like more of a routine than something meaningful?
Kim, would you like to start?
The only real holiday custom I have is actually work. So here at my congregation, we do a candlelight Christmas Eve worship service. And honestly, since I've been a minister, that is a new custom to me. Typically, historically, I would spend Christmas Eve with family. And now that I am a minister, Christmas Eve is always work.
Okay. I know we have Thanksgiving coming up. I can't think of anything that I did or we did that was tradition. I mean, we always come together at whichever designated home each year. It's a little different for me this year because I'm in a state all by myself. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about this with Tara. Holidays have usually been very, very difficult for me. The last 2 years were a little bit better, but for some reason this year, it's a little bit challenging. I don't have any specific traditions. It's just my son and I. So we'll just do probably more cooking than we need to just for the two of us because you got a habit of just, cooking for a large number of people that aren't even present. But that's typically the Thanksgiving and Christmas. Again, being away from home, I'm not gathering. I would be gathering with family for Christmas. But again, I'm here alone. So tear.
Aww.
Yeah. I do have family. My daughter and my son-in-law, my grandchildren are coming out this Christmas. So I am looking forward to that. I have that to hold on to for the next few weeks to kind of bring me out of this little bit of a funk that I'm in. But nothing, no specific traditions really.
So I actually do have a few traditions. But first, I want to say, when you talk about all the food that you make when there are only two of you, coming from a big family, you get used to making like so much food. And then when you're like, it's just like you, your husband, and your child, you're like, wait, I'm used to cooking for like double, three times that amount of people. And
Right.
it's hard to
Scale it
snap
back.
out of that.
Yeah.
But okay.
I'm sure I won't need all of what I'm planning to cook for just two people. I know it's not necessary. Thank God Jordan is good with leftovers.
Mhm.
I'm good for a day or so,
Mhm.
unless it's a turkey and stuffing sandwich.
But
I
even
had
a turkey, I mean, it makes absolutely no sense for me to buy a turkey. And a turkey breast is just not the same.
It's not. So I guess that's the tradition then. You have to have a turkey no matter what. You got to have a turkey.
gotta get that free turkey from ShopRite. Yeah.
Not anymore, though, right? So that was one I had to give up now that I'm here by myself.
Mhm.
Aw. Well, that's too bad. I'm not giving up mine. Okay, so my traditions, I'm going to backtrack and maybe have little tears in my own right now. Kim, do you remember how the tradition used to be? Like y'all all come to my house and we like do Christmas Eve, we play, have games and all that stuff. But we haven't done that in many years because everybody up and left me and Matthew and John here
Oh.
by ourselves. But that's okay. So the traditions that we still have are we do still like to put up the Christmas tree on the day after Thanksgiving, but sometimes you're just too lazy and tired to do it on the day after Thanksgiving. So now that tradition has kind of expanded. So it doesn't have to be exactly the day after Thanksgiving, but that weekend, before that weekend is over, that tree is going up and it will stay up until about New Year's Eve. So there's that. The other tradition that we have is we have our typical New Year's dinner on New Year's Day. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but I know what it is. Is
Do tell.
we have our beef ribs and our collard greens and our hoppin' johns and our cornbread.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah. And also there has to be some kind of fish, but I don't like the smell of fried fish. And so I've been doing like fish sticks or
Oh,
something
really?
because,
Six.
well, because I don't like the smell of fried fish. I'm just saying that oily fry smell. I don't like to fry food. So there's that. So we have those traditions. It used to be, and I don't know, I keep saying it used to be because with people moving away and certain family dynamics changing over the course of the past few years. So it used to be that we alternate Thanksgiving with my family, with John's family. But after family dynamics have changed, we've been typically doing Thanksgiving here. And John's parents would come for Thanksgiving, and then we'd go up to where they are the day after Christmas, but not on Christmas Day because we like to be home for Christmas Day. But this year, and it seems hard to believe, but it has been almost 8 years. Has it been 8 years since I spent Thanksgiving with my parents? So we're going to visit them for Thanksgiving, and I am so super excited because it's been such a long, long time.
I
And
might just
so,
myself and meet you there.
yeah.
It'll be a party. I am going. I'm back and forth on whether to drive or fly. I think I'll drive. So yes. And so typically I will try to do that every other year. I will go to our parents for Thanksgiving every other year, but it's a lot for me to go every year.
But I guess I had traditions that I wasn't aware of because I would actually put the I think the last couple of years we put the Christmas tree up. Well, there's been several years where we put the Christmas tree up on Thanksgiving Day. It was kind of like the cooking and the decorating all in
Mhm.
one. But because sometimes I get into a little bit of a funk, I may do it sooner to try to bring that whole holiday spirit
Mm-hmm.
into the house. I think it was 2 days ago. I said to Jordan, "You want to put the tree up?" And he looked at me like it was midsummer or something, like way too soon. But also, too, like my little living space does not scream holiday. I don't know how to make it look like holiday because my living room literally is like my workspace, my craft space,
Yeah.
my Cricut, and all of the other Christmas baskets and all the other things I'm working on. It
Mhm.
really kind of just really defeats the whole purpose of trying to decorate around all of that stuff. But anyway,
No, it doesn't. Decorate around it. Throw some
uh,
tinsel. Throw some tinsel on that work table.
yeah, that's been
Set up a little tabletop tree right in the middle of it. Come on.
yeah. I'm finding it very difficult to kind of get into the whole spirit of the holiday. But maybe the tree will help. And also, too, you mentioned the New Year's dinner. I forgot I also do that menu. So I guess I did have traditions that I wasn't really aware of. You get,
See, and everybody forgot the best tradition of all, which is baking cookies.
I buy.
Yay, please.
Come on, baking cookies. You get that cookie list and then you start making and baking, and before halfway are done, you're like, oh, why did I even start this project? But okay, let's keep going.
Talking to a real live baker here. So yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Again.
I would believe though, every year I made a bunch of sweet potato pies because people seem to love them for Thanksgiving. And I don't think I did any last year. I
Well,
didn't do any last year.
do them this year. Get back into the spirit. Find your way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ho,
I'll
ho, ho. Here
I
we
am so I
go.
was I want to ask because Leslie, you mentioned that you are feeling in a little bit of a holiday funk uh, because there's so many expectations around the holidays, expectations around things we're supposed to do, and honestly, around how we're supposed to feel. I'm curious I'm curious how all of us deal with those expectations. Because let me tell you for myself, there's still a couple that I'm holding on to a little bit. But once I started to let them go, I have felt so much better. I don't make the cookies anymore. That week leading up to Christmas Eve, there are typically three worship services in one week. I do not have time to be making cookies. And as soon as I let go the making cookie thing, I felt so much better. I have neither time or interest in decorating. For the last couple of years, I have bought Christmas cards, and so I need to now find twice as many people to send them to because I have 2 years worth of Christmas cards that I have not sent.
Oh my.
I think I'm going to stop buying them. I might even stop pretending like I'm going to send them.
Now that's funny. That is hilarious. As far as commitments and obligations, well, see, Tara, you're married with in-laws. Kim and I are not. So we don't have that struggle of whose house do we go to? Do we go Christmas Eve? Do we go Christmas Day? Thanksgiving, where do we eat? We don't have that issue, but I'm sure that some people do. And I just wonder how they manage that. Do you do one day and the next day, or do you do one year and then the next year? I really don't want those problems, actually.
I gotta tell you, it's not really for us. It has not been a problem. You have a schedule, and that's what it is, and you let people know what it is. Like I said, what we used to do is we'd alternate 1 year my family, 1 year John's family. On Christmas Eve, my family is in New Jersey, where they were where I lived, and so that was what we did on Christmas Eve.
Hmm.
Christmas Day, we were home, so Santa Claus could find us, knocking on the door, come through the window, down the chimney, whatever it is, however Santa gets to you. That's how he did it. And then the day after Christmas, we go up to where John's family is. I mean, it's worked really well when you have that schedule. It only began to change when our family began to change, when people started, they kind of shifted away. And so it became impossible to do it that way. And so what we've done, I guess, is what's been the most convenient, which meant that I didn't get to see my family in person for Thanksgiving, but we still talk. And recently we started doing for extended family as well, our virtual Thanksgiving get together where we open up a Zoom call and people can come and go during when that call is open for like a 2 or 3 hours as they please, just to check in or leave messages or something like that for other
Well, I'm not
people.
on call. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
well, no, that's for like the Jones families,
I'm just
but yeah.
You
But
should pop in.
yeah, pop in. That's what it's called, our Thanksgiving pop in. So yeah, so you find ways to manage, and it doesn't have to be a chore. And honestly, if you're talking about spending time with family out of love rather than just certainly out of commitment, then
yeah.
it's not a chore at all. It's not a chore at all, and you figure out how it works best for your family.
Well, maybe I need to do a Zoom this year, a Thanksgiving Zoom this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's an option.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
think it's a
certainly
good
is.
idea. I also would say, I would say, and I would say to everybody, maybe manage expectations. Because it's new, but also because everybody's really busy. Not everybody is as boundaried and clear about their boundaries, I think, as Tara. And so people often have a lot to do on that day. And so the idea that they're going to pop into a Zoom, especially when it's a new idea, might take some getting used to.
It might.
But also, like Tara, you said it's open all day. It's not like you're locked into a specific hour or two.
Whoa, whoa,
They
whoa. No, 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 no. I was only open for 2 or 3 hours because I have to control it, and I'm not going to be on Zoom all day.
got
I'm just saying, much as I love my family, but yeah, Tara needs some time.
oh,
But yeah, about 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. Well, you know what? We put out when that 2 or 3 hours is going to be well in advance, and so people can, they can. If they can't, they can't. If they're going to come in for like 5 minutes just to say hey, then that's fun too. Whatever you can do, if
mm,
you can do it. But the other thing I want to talk about is you guys mentioned these cookies. Listen,
You mentioned these cookies.
no,
right.
I did. Well, I did mention cookies, but then you're like, well, I don't make the cookies anymore, and then I buy my cookies. But I make my cookies because I'm sorry, Chips Ahoy, no thank you. But because it's more than just expecting it. They do expect it, but it's fun to do together because you sit. Well, I don't know. We sit there and we decorate the stockings. It look like stock. We have fun with it, and you figure out what your favorite cookies are. You make them, and then you have a little cookie exchange with the neighbors, or you give cookies as gifts to the neighbors or to your mailman or whatever. That's fun stuff to do. And y'all look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm still kind of geek or something, but that's what I enjoy. Aunt Lizzie, you stifling down a laugh. I saw you.
No,
And then, and then, and then what Matthew and I also like to do in Johnson Times too is we make ornaments. Every other year we try to make an ornament for our tree or to give as gifts to professors, teachers, neighbors, whatever. And it's family and it's fun. So those are our traditions.
how that could be fun for you. I just, I don't see my mailman. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a whole lot of people that I can, really gift cookies.
Yeah. 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 It
I
depends
did
on
not say that I buy
taste.
my cookies. Gosh forbid.
No, I said
No, Aunt Leslie did.
Oh, the
I buy,
one thing
I buy the bag that you just okay, that you just add add a tablespoon of water to.
But that's still
you
making
know what
it.
used to be good? That remember that little blue can of the Danish cookies.
Yes, they don't taste the same. The ones now do not taste the same.
That's funny.
I don't even know where to find those.
I have
Over.
two bags of cookie mix in there right now. Add some water.
There's nothing wrong with cookie mix.
Okay,
I
so
will say,
so then Kimberly, I actually do bake my cookies.
oh, there you go. I'm here for it. I'm glad that I'm here for you doing it. And
Uh-huh.
if somebody wants to make me a fruitcake, I am not one who turns up her nose at fruitcake.
Oh, I love fruitcake so much.
So just let you know. The one thing that I do make, because for me it's super easy, is coquito, which people call it the Puerto Rican eggnog. It is not. It is its own distinct thing.
I've never had it. I want to taste it, but I've never had it.
If you go, well, can I make it at Thanksgiving? I gotta find a way to bring you some. Maybe I'll bring you some when I see you in the summer. It'll be completely off season, but we'll see.
I may just pop up in, Sumter. I don't care that I wasn't invited. Y'all can tell that I don't care that I wasn't.
I think everybody's always invited.
I think well,
I,
I feel that everybody's always invited. I show up where I show up. And if you don't want to, whatever, you just pretend you're not home and turn off your lights and peek out the shutter. But I'm gonna know you inside.
Mm. All right. So
Dad will let me sleep on the floor if we. Oh, we can't. We got dogs.
find a dog-friendly place.
Yeah.
Somebody babysit, dog sit.
I can
Nobody-
keep my plants alive for a week at a time.
What's that?
I can keep my plants alive for a week at a time when
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gone.
not leaving my dogs with you if your plants only survive. Well, thank you, because they are now my new babies, and if anything happens to my dogs, there's nothing that you can tell me to make me feel better about the situation.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How have your feelings or priorities about holiday commitments changed over the years, if at all?
Sometimes you're invited places where you don't particularly want to go, but you go because it's the holiday and it's the right thing to do. I don't do no. If I don't want to go, I'm not going. I don't, because that's just really going to put a damper on my spirit. You know what I mean? There are times where I'd just much rather be in my own space. And so that's what's different for me. If it's a place where I just don't want to be, I'm not going to put myself in an environment I don't want to be in just because. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything in particular you're looking forward to this year?
Yeah. This is my third Christmas that I've lived in Florida. The first year I went home. Last year I was here with just Jordan. But this year, my daughter and my son-in-law and my grandchildren will be here for about 5 days, 6 days. So for Christmas. So I'm super excited about that. And I'm sure Jordan is excited as well. We're all excited. Yeah, my son is saving me a piece of candy that he's going to give me that he got on Halloween. He's saving it for me for
Oh, it'll still be good.
Oh gosh. Well, I would hope so. He didn't say it wasn't. He just he didn't even say he didn't start eating it. I hope it's not a lollipop that he started eating.
Ew.
But yeah, so I am excited about those days with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Nothing in particular, just work. I'm driving down to South Carolina to be with family for Thanksgiving. And also, I'm ambivalent about the traveling. I'm curious to see how I do with a really long drive. I'm very excited to see family. And I also think about either having or being a house guest. There's some old saying that house guests are like fish.
Mm-hmm.
they start to stink after 3 days.
Oh,
So I try to think of myself as a house guest at a 3 day range. I don't want to impose, and I don't want to impose. So I try to limit my house guest time to 3 days for everybody involved.
and
Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to going down to Sumter for Thanksgiving because it's been a while. And I get to spend time with my parents and my sisters who I haven't seen since January. So I'm super, 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 super excited.
Oh,
Kim, has it really been since January? Does we see?
yes.
We've never gone that long without seeing each other in person.
Yeah, I know. I used to see you several times a year. It's so different now. I think that was a real change with COVID, right? I mean, that was a real change with the pandemic lockdown, and I just don't go as many places. And some of that's about work, and some of that is just about the way that people do things differently because we can connect in other ways like Zoom. Then I think it makes those in-person connections feel less necessary. And
yeah,
I think that's probably in the long run going to be a loss.
yeah. Now your sister is in Sumter. Are your brothers coming to Sumter also for
N-
Thanksgiving?
Not this year, as far as we know.
No. Okay. Alrighty.
Does that entice you to come? It should.
What, that they're not coming? Not.
Wow.
Well, the
Well,
the the flip side of that is it'll be a whole big ladies' night, ladies' day.
well, not really because you'll still have Matthew and John and Daddy.
Oh yeah, them.
Just
That's half the party.
so is it just the siblings? Is it just you girls?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
But super excited. But part of wow.
What to say?
I was starting to sing "It's a Family Affair," and Tara rightly dismissed my attempt.
No, I wasn't dismissing your attempt, but just thinking about being together, and just having that joy. Brought me to my scripture for today, which is Psalm 95, verses 1 and 2, which says, "Oh, come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise." And this just celebrates joyful gatherings and Thanksgiving. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reminder of worship and gratitude.
I love that. I love that. So fitting. Yeah.
Okay, as we wrap up this episode today, I want us to remember that holidays are ultimately about connection and joy, not perfection or obligation. What matters most is that our commitments feel genuine and life-giving, which I think that fits the bill, at least depending on how you look at it. Fits the bill for me. Maybe I don't necessarily do this, but you guys brought it to my mind. Like maybe that means saying no or putting aside or not doing something that no longer feels meaningful to you.
Mhm.
Or maybe it could mean adding a tradition that will bring peace to your season.
I would say keep it chill, keep it easy.
Yeah. So thank you guys again for joining us for this episode of Unfiltered Perspectives. Be sure to check out new episodes every Thursday morning and don't forget to share, rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode.
You can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Unfiltered Perspectives, on Instagram at Unfiltered Perspectives IG. And please send us your questions, comments, ideas for future topics at unfilteredperspectives@outlook.com.
Once again, thank you for joining us. Whatever it is you decide to do for the holidays, we wish you well, but we will see you back here again before Thanksgiving. Have a great rest of your week. Bye bye.